Welcome to the Sandro channel. Make sure that you subscribe.
Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans, and today I'm actually going to be doing a review and a discussion on Zootopia Plus, okay? So this is a mini-series that came out on November the 9th, which was just 5 days ago on Disney Plus. What is Zootopia Plus? Is it a sequel to Zootopia? No, it's not. No, it's not a sequel, but it's a very interesting and unique thing that, like, it's actually kind of experimental, I feel like, that Disney tried out here. So this mini-series actually takes place during the original Zootopia movie. So you watch the first Zootopia movie, and then you come and watch this, and you get different scene perspectives, okay? So here's a great example, the first episode. So in the original Zootopia movie, Judy, the main sort of rabbit, she wants to be a police officer, and she leaves. She heads out to Zootopia, and we get the scene where, like, her, you know, she waves goodbye to all her family, right? She's a rabbit, so she has a massive family, and her two parents right here. She says goodbye to them, and then she heads on the train to Zootopia, and that's that, right? In this little mini-series here, we actually get the perspective of the parents, that, like, what happens after Judy leaves. And what happens is that one of Judy's little sisters actually gets on the train also, like, she gets on top of it, not inside the train. And, you know, the parents notice that the baby's leaving on the train, so they try and chase after it. You know, they're riding, like, different, like, what is it, their car, and then, yeah, they're driving around, they're going off ramps and whatever, and they eventually catch up to, Judy in Zootopia. They don't see her, though, right? They don't see her because Judy goes off and does her own thing in the movie. We get to see Judy's perspective in the movie. But this here, we get to see, like, the other angle, like the other, these weird side stories. That's what every one of these is. And I actually enjoyed these because this one in particular, like, okay, the other ones weren't that good. I gotta say, like, some of these were good, some of these weren't good. But this one right here, that was a parody of The Godfather, was probably the best one. This one actually gave us some, like, backstory that I don't think we even got in the original Zootopia. So I really enjoyed this one because it actually builds the lore of the Zootopia, like, franchise. So that one was the best story overall. But I am going to go through these, like, one by one, pretty quick, rapid fire, just give you my thoughts. And yeah. So I wanted to talk about the score, though. You know, if you guys don't really care, you don't want to hear me talk about this, should you watch this? You should watch this, but it's not for everyone. Like, you can't just watch this and be like, oh, this is a good show. No, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to understand it if you didn't watch the original Zootopia movie. So this is not for everyone. You have to watch the movie. It's a prerequisite that you literally should go watch the movie before you come watch this. Like I said, otherwise you're just going to be confused. Like, what are these shorts? Who are these characters? You're not going to know anything. You have to go watch the first Zootopia movie. So there is a little bit of a barrier to entry on Zootopia Plus. But I noticed here that they gave it 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10, and Common Sense Media basically gave it a 4 out of 5. I actually thought this was pretty quality. I would give it a 7.5, if not an 8. So I actually agree with IGN on this one. I'm not sure what a 4.5 translates to. Probably an 8, right? If you just double these numbers, it becomes 8 out of 10. So yeah, I just give it an 8 out of 10. I don't agree with IMDb on this one. I actually agree with IGN and Common Sense Media. It was pretty quality. The animation was pretty quality. It felt like it matched up just to, like, the actual Zootopia movie. And I found it enjoyable. So let's go really fast here, folks. So hop on board. Yeah, so Stu and Bonnie, like I was saying, right? This is these ones here, right? These characters here, Judy's parents. They basically just the entire thing is a funny, like, joke where they're Judy's little sister, one of them, I don't know how many sisters she has, but one of her little sisters ends up on the train. Like, she sneaks onto the train, on top of the train, not inside of it. And she's just, like, rummaging around, going crazy, just being a playful little kid. The parents spend the entire episode chasing after her. And then at the end, they finally catch up with their daughter, right? They end up in Zootopia. They finally catch up with their daughter. And then the whole joke repeats itself because she then immediately jumps on another train and they immediately have to run after her a second time. So this is this is just a really hilarious, introduction to the series. I thought it was a great way. This was a really good one for episode 1 because these characters were really familiar with them because they're the parents of the main character Judy, right? Then we had the second one here, The Real Rodents of Little Rodentia. I'm not sure what, like, I know these are parodies of like all kinds of things, like The Godfather and the Bride of the Bride. It's that one's like a parody of The Godfather. So You Think You Could Prance? That's a parody of like So You Think You Can Dance. I'm not sure, like, what, if anybody knows in the comment section down below, name me, like, what show are these all parodies of? Like, I just, or movies. Some of them are movies, yeah. But like, let me know down below what, I know there's a movie called Hop, right? Or yeah, that was the one where with the Easter Bunny. Is that right? I don't know if this one is like a parody of like Hop or like I don't know. Hop on Board. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a train show that I just don't I don't know. But you guys let me know what each of these episodes are based of. So The Real Rodents of Little Rodentia. This one is about, bride to be Fru battles her cousin turned shrew of honor, True for the spotlight. Yeah, so this one was more, I feel like women would enjoy this one more. That, this one felt like it was based off of like one of these like more female reality types of shows. I just didn't care much for this episode, but I think maybe there's some girls in the audience that would really enjoy this one just because it's a parody of some of those more like the Jersey Shore or something like that. It has that kind of vibe where it's it's based off one of those more reality female centric shows. I don't know if the Jersey Shore is a good example there, but but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? It's like one of those more female live action shows. So yeah, this one was just like a nice little, like, it had a cool ending, I guess. It was like, she promised her cousin that is a bit of an obnoxious person when she was younger that she would be the bride or the maid of honor when she gets married. And in the end, despite their differences, they end up, settling, and she becomes the maid of honor in the end, and they become friends again because I guess they didn't like each other. But now that she got married, I guess they reconciled, and that was that. So yeah, that was again I didn't like this one. I feel like the women in the audience. Is it based off the Desperate Housewives? Something with I know there was that show, something like that, like the real, I don't know, the Real Desperate Housewife. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's something like that. It's parodying one of those women shows. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I didn't like that one too much. I think for Hop on Board, I would give that one like a 7. The Real Rodents of Little Rodentia, I give that like a 4. It wasn't that good. Duke the Musical. Okay, I actually like this one mostly because it was like the only standout musical here. But yeah. So the criminal weasel Duke ponders where he went wrong in a musical staged in his own mind. Yeah, so this one was it in his own mind, though? Because he kind of walks off with the cash at the end. But mostly he sings, it's a very catchy song. It was a very catchy song. But yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was so super, super catchy. And I like the idea that a criminal is kind of like assessing their life and thinking like, where did it all go wrong for me? I used to have dreams. I used to have like aspirations in life, but in the end, I went down the rotten road and just became a criminal. And then towards the end, he has a chance to make it right. He's going to change, some old man, he steals the wallet from like some old woman crossing the street. And then, he's like, hey, I have this wallet here. He has a change of heart, right? And he's like, it looked like he was going to give it to her. Then suddenly there's a car crash, and it's one of those security trucks that's carrying money, right? It's one of those like armored cars that carries the money to the banks. It crashes into the side of the road and hits the old woman. And he's like, there's time. I could change. I could give this back to the old woman and change my ways. But in the end, he sees all the money lying on the floor. He decides to steal it and go back to his criminal ways. So I thought it was it was interesting. It was interesting. You never really think about like, how criminals end up where they are. And I actually thought this one was very enjoyable. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's higher than the first one. I know. I actually enjoyed the song was just really good. This is a 10 out of 10. 0-4, The Godfather of the Bride. Okay, Mr. Big gives a father of the bride speech going back to the time in his days as a new immigrant. I personally, my family is all Italian, right? All of my grandparents, all 4 of them, unfortunately one of them passed away earlier this year. Everybody's from Italy. They all came here on a boat to Canada. Some of them actually went to other countries before, and then they all eventually ended up in Canada, right? They took a boat over here to North America, and they eventually ended in Canada. And in this story, it was like, it felt like it was my backstory here, where it's like you have these immigrants from Italy coming over to a new land. They make a joke in Zootopia where they just cross a puddle, they just cross a very small body of water to get to like the new big city. They do make that joke. I thought that was funny. But no, we get like some of the lore here. We get some of the lore, like how he became, this sort of big mafioso type of guy, and why is it that these polar bears are working for him? We get this whole backstory. I thought this was amazing. They could have added this into the movie, and it would have been like, I think it could have been a deleted scene. Like, it was that good. It was literally that good. Like, you guys, if you don't want to watch anything else on Zootopia Plus, check out number 4, episode 4. I swear to God, it's a good one. So I like the idea. It's like he ended up just opening up, a pastry shop his grandmother actually opened up the pastry shop. And, he starts out making deliveries, and as time goes on, he ends up giving some of his money to the polar bears because they were in Zootopia, and there was no, air conditioning. They're polar bears. They need cold, right? And it's very hot in the city. And so, he was helping them to get, air conditioning and buying them, ice cream. And it was really cool. Even though he himself had, very little cash, he was still helping out, the polar bears. Then we see this other mafia guy, this kind of big bully guy that's going around and wrecking havoc in the city. And then, he has a big turning point where he ends up basically defeating the guy with the help of all of his friends and the polar bears and whatever. And overall, just really good. It's a parody of The Godfather, but I swear it's really good. It's really good. This should have been part of the original Zootopia. It's really that good. So I love this one. This one has a special place for me just because, my family came from Italy. And I like the whole story where it's like they came here, they had nothing, and then they make their lives here, right? They just open up a business and they try and make it big. And I just really appreciate this one out of all of them. So You Think You Could Prance. I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. This was probably the worst one. Yeah, absolutely the worst one. What am I saying? So this one is more of a dream. Yeah. So ZPD dispatcher Clawhauser persuades Chief Bogo to audition for So You Think You Can Prance. It ends up that no, he does not actually do that. He actually just simply has a dream. He has a dream that what's the character? Gazelle, right? Shakira plays Gazelle. He has a dream that he asks what was his name again? Mr. Chief Bogo. He has a dream that he asks him to go be his dance partner, and in the dream Chief Bogo thinks that Gazelle needs backup, not a backup dancer, that she needs actual backup, because someone's trying to hurt her. But no, in the end, Mr. Clawhauser here ends up doing a dance. They end up impressing Gazelle, and then he wakes up. And this was in the Zootopia movie, right? They actually just translated this from the Zootopia movie. He ends up waking up having that dream, and then it is revealed that he goes into the office, and Chief Bogo is also a fan of Giselle, which I think that happened in the actual movie too, right? I think so. It's been maybe I should have watched the movie before I watched this, but yeah. Overall, very good. And then Dinner Rush. I like this one. I'm going to give this one maybe a 7 out of 10. I thought it was just as good as Hop on Board. But yeah, really funny here. So the super server Sam rushes to finish her shift ahead of a big concert when last minute guests arrive. So really, really awesome stuff here. Basically, it's a waiter, and she's all ready to go. She's gonna go see Gazelle live, and then no, the sloth, the Flash, right? That's his name, Flash. Flash the sloth and his main woman end up coming there. He ends up proposing, but they order so slowly, and there's so many jokes there that because they talk so slowly, the waiter's like, are you ready to order? And, and it's like, yes. And then they take their time, and she's like, hey, what do you want to order? I'm ready to order. It's really good. It's really good. I really love this one. It's so unique. Just a very, very unique. This whole mini series was so experimental and unique, and I kind of love it. I kind of want them to do like more stuff like this. It's really cool. Especially like this one, The Godfather of the Bride, where we get this backstory that it should have been in the movie, but I'm also grateful because it's like you watch this and you're like, wow, now we have more lore, more backstory on how Zootopia worked, before it became this big city. So just awesome stuff, just really awesome stuff. But yeah, Dinner Rush, and it ends with the Sam, the super server here. She ends up going in Flash's car, and you remember at the end of Zootopia where Flash, he's like driving like an absolute maniac, and then he gets pulled over by Judy. And it's revealed that his wife was in the car and the waiter was in the back, and they were all going to a concert, and that's why he was driving so fast. That was really cool. I love it. I love it all. It was pretty good. Okay, I love it all except for this stupid "So You Think You Could Prance" one, which was just a dream. So I wasn't, it was kind of boring. They just kind of do a little dance, but the dance wasn't even as catchy as like Duke the Musical. So I really did not like this one. So You Think You Could Prance. Just very boring. I don't know. You think it'd be amazing because they're like trying out for a talent show and they're doing like all this dance and whatever. But no, not really all that exciting. Actually, the most boring episode of them all. And that's it. That's my little review and discussion. Did you guys like this? By the way, don't forget, you got to tell me, what did each one of these episodes, what are these all based off of? Let me know. And let me know your thoughts. Did you agree with my rating of an 8 out of 10? Is that too high? Maybe that's too high. Maybe you guys are like, no, Sandro, I agree with IMDb. Maybe it should be more around a 7. I gave it around a 7.5, but I don't like decimals. I just round up to an 8. So that's where I land on. Would I watch, if they did more episodes of this, would I watch them? Yes. I also kind of just want Zootopia 2. I think it's in the works. I thought I read something that it was happening. Yeah, is Zootopia 2 in the works? I think so, right? Zootopia 2. I'm sure there's going to be some news. Will Zootopia is planned, but has no formal production schedule. So yeah, I'm excited. This gets me excited for the sequel when that eventually comes out. And hopefully we'll get another, maybe Zootopia 2 plus, right? Or maybe they'll call it Zootopia plus 2. I don't know. But I really enjoyed Zootopia Plus. I think it was really great. Want to see more movies, or I want to see Disney get more experimental like this and do other things like this. And really enjoyed it. That's going to be the end of the video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And why not watch an ad for your boy Sandro? Thank you guys so much. Peace out. Bye-bye.